Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are and however you may be listening. I'm Clay Thomas, and this is the Crushcast. Crushcast is presented to you by the Cayuga Health System, the system that provides seamless, comprehensive, community-centered care for the many residents across the Finger Lakes and Central New York. With me is new Crush infielder Vinny Mauro. I almost said it right. I even asked you beforehand. And catcher and outfielder Eli Selby. Guys, welcome, and thank you for coming onto the podcast.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
So you guys are both at Niagara. You're both freshmen, as I come to understand, right?
Yes.
And so, Eli, you're from Horn Lake, Mississippi. First, I want to ask you, how did you go from being in the South to finding a place up here in the Northeast to go to school?
So my dad actually played a lot of professional baseball in Buffalo. He's actually in the Buffalo Bison's Hall of Fame. So that's the connection I have to this area between Niagara and my home. And we just got connected through social media, me and Coach McCoy, and we went from there.
That's awesome. Do you ever feel the pressure to have to try to fill your dad's shoes or, do a little bit better than him?
That's part of why I left. Wanted to kind of get off from my house. Like I didn't want to go anywhere near to my house because I kind of wanted to go off and do my own thing. So that's part of the reason I'm up here. But no, I don't really feel that much up here. No.
Yeah, I guess I can understand that. I mean, hey, you want to do your own thing, and it's also like, hey, it's my dad. It is what it is.
Right.
As for Vinny, you didn't go anywhere else. You stayed in Niagara. What was the decision like to stay there instead of go anywhere else?
Well, I mean, I'd always hoped to find somewhere a little further away from home, but I'm glad that I made the decision to stay in Niagara.
It's quite the opposite. So for both of you, I saw that Eli, you're a psych major, and Vinny, it said you were academic exploration. Eli, why did you choose to be a psych major?
Okay, well, I actually switched into biology about a month into school. And so I'm looking to become like an orthopedic surgeon, have to do with sports medicine, want to work in baseball related, like Dr. Andrews, who does all the Tommy John surgeries. That's kind of the same career path I want to do.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I should say the school's website should update that then, because that's where I got my first information from. And then, so Vinny, what is academic exploration? Is that like you just haven't officially picked a major yet, or or is that something, or is it a major?
No, it's just pretty much I'm on the side right now, and they put you in a bunch of gen ed studies that I get to take and get a feel for what I want to major in.
Yeah, I had a friend back in my freshman year, like 3 years ago. He was exploration still at first, but his advisor told him, use it while as long as you can, because for him it was he got first pick for like all of his classes and everything, and so he didn't even have to like wait till like everybody else picked. So he got the jump on all the classes, like the ones that he absolutely needed, because he was already set. He was like, I'll just take business, but then his counselor kind of hooked him up and said, oh, just put off selecting your major and you'll be fine going forward, and you get first pick for everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did anything like that happen for you, or is it just kind of like you had to wait for everybody else?
The classes I got to pick, I mean, yeah, it was kind of, we got, being an athlete at Niagara, they let us pick our classes, I guess, before just students. So the student athletes got to pick classes before, which was kind of an advantage, I guess. So the class I wanted to get into are more available.
Well, there you go. It's always easy, or always nice. So I saw, doing some of my research in your Instagram bio, you're a Barstool athlete. How did you come up being about that? And also, what is that like?
It's nothing really crazy. I mean, a lot of guys are like that now. With the once that came about with the name, image, and likeness not long ago, that was right in the fall.
Yeah.
Right when the fall hit, like everyone started like filling out the questionnaire, and then they send you the merch, and you kind of just had it in your bio, but nothing really has come about.
Yeah, that's it to it.
Yeah.
A free shirt, a free hoodie, and some pants. Let's ride, baby.
Hey, what's better than free clothes? I mean, any college student will take that.
Right. Yeah.
So going into more of your other schools, what made you want to choose Niagara? And was it just a baseball thing? I mean, I know for Eli, you just said you wanted to get, away from home. Vinny, you decided to stay in town, but what drew you to Niagara mainly?
I'll start. My dad actually coached at Niagara in the 90s. So I've always been a Niagara family, you could say. So I've always been right here near campus. I live 2 minutes from the campus. So I've always like known what goes on and how the program's progressed. And I always kept an eye out. And, once they built the new field and the program kept getting better and better, I was like, there's no reason I shouldn't want to go here. It was a great fit, and I'm glad I made that decision.
Nice. What about you?
So along the same lines with me, just when I started getting in contact with Coach McCoy and Coach Spatty, one of the main things they emphasize here is the mental game. Coach McCoy actually has a master's degree in sports psychology. So I thought that was really probably a game changer in my recruiting decision. That's probably the main reason I chose to come here, just because I thought that I could benefit a lot as a player from someone who does have that level of expertise in a sports psychology field. I thought that was something that was unique to this university. And I made my decision a while ago and haven't looked back since. It's been great since I've been here.
That's awesome. So I guess it's I can't say the same question for Vinny, but for you, Eli, what's it like living in Horn Lake versus now being in Niagara?
Oh, it's two different worlds. You have no idea. So I've probably seen snow, like consistent snow, maybe less than 10 times in my life. The most snow I've ever gotten is probably 5 inches, 6 inches. And
right.
So our first day back from break, we had that blizzard and got 23. So that was a real wake up call. I try to explain to people from down there about how cold it is. I know we played Western Carolina last weekend, and I was talking to their first baseman after I got a hit or something. And we were just talking, and he was like, "You're from Mississippi, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Dude, why did you go up there?" He was like, "Is it really that cold?" And that's what I told him. I was like, "Look, dude, however cold you think it is, it's colder. Like, you have no idea what it's like. Like, these guys, it's 45 degrees in North Carolina. These guys got sleeves, hoodies, big jackets, and all of our guys are running around in BP tops, rolling the sleeves up." So, yeah, it's just a different world, man, especially weather-wise.
Yeah, so Vinny's just like, it's just a walk in the park. Like, there's nothing to it now at this point, living here for this long.
Yeah.
Is that kind of true, Vinny?
Yeah, I've grown to kind of adapt to the cold weather, I guess. We got off the bus today and it was 70 degrees here in where are we, Asheville. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, you're like, this is different. Like, maybe I can see myself living here in the future or something like that. I'm from Lancaster, PA, so like I kind of know the best of both worlds. Like, I never knew, like, because I go to school in Ithaca right now, and I didn't know what cold was like. And then I'm here, and it's like every other weekend in the winter, it's like 0 sometimes, and it gets even worse. The wind makes everything worse. But then in PA, it's like it can get that way, but it'll do that for like a day, and then like the rest is just kind of like up in the 40s and stuff, and it's like easy weather,
Yeah.
But I noticed that you guys, like, Niagara Falls and like the university, like the Niagara University is like right next to Canada. Do you guys ever like take trips over there, or do you just hang out in Niagara for the most part?
Growing up, I'd always been back and forth to Canada. I played hockey growing up, and so I was always back and forth. And I have a little bit of family over there, but like my house itself, like I can look out my back window and see Canada.
The same here from the campus. You can see the border and Canada from campus.
The Lewis and Queenston Bridge is like right at the far end of campus if you're looking north.
That's actually really interesting. That's like really cool. Like the best the best view of from Ithaca is like a lake, but to have a view be another country, that's just something else.
Yeah, the gorge is really cool. It's like an eye candy. I'd probably say, like, everyone who comes and visits Niagara is probably like, oh, like there's the falls, there's the gorge, and it's really cool just to have that there. I guess for like just to talk about it, people get to go and see it and stuff like that.
So I've noticed you guys had a few games under your belt for the season, but I noticed it's a little bit of a rough start, unfortunately. How do you guys seeing the team right the ship, so to speak, as you move forward here within the next series and then next week?
You can start it off.
Well, I think last series, the box score didn't tell the whole picture. I thought there were a lot of things that we did last weekend that were good. I thought we showed a lot of good signs of being a good team. And so, like, you got to keep that in perspective. Like, those guys have been outside since probably the first week of January, taking ground balls, seeing live arms. And I mean, last weekend was the first time we've had a chance to go outside, like, all year. So like we've been indoors in our campus center just practicing. So I think as the year goes along that you're going to start to see more of our signs of good play, like our flashes that we had last weekend turn into complete games of really good play. And I think that we're going to have a much better weekend this weekend.
Good.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah, I didn't get to play last weekend. I can't play the first two this weekend. I'm still suspended for something really stupid. Yeah. It actually comes from playing summer ball. So it's nothing crazy. But I'm excited this weekend to get on the field, and just the energy that we had going into like getting here this morning and like going out there practicing today. Like I feel like we feel ready to go this weekend, and just we wiped off that last weekend. And it was embarrassing for all of us. Obviously, anyone who saw the box score would think like, oh, like that's pretty alarming. Like all those games were that bad. But I mean, that doesn't say nearly as much as what we bring to the table. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to be okay.
No, yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I can relate with the not being able to get outside for the longest time part, and those guys down there don't have to deal with any of this kind of cold weather that doesn't allow you to go play outside. So there's a lot to it, and plus seeing live pitching on a field versus a cage isn't the same thing at all.
Yeah,
it's also worse when then sometimes you just can't even notice the ball, because when I play club, when we play in our one indoor facility, you can't even see the ball because there's nothing behind the pitcher. Like we don't even have a backdrop that allows you to see the ball like a batter's eye.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge inside, picking up spin. But once you come outside, it's a completely different game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's totally different.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of our hitters had to make adjustments last weekend because like you got guys sitting fastballs low 90s, like 89, 92, and we got guys that are just swinging through them early just because you can see the ball so much better outside. So it took us a little bit to get back adjusted to seeing real-time pitching on a field.
Yeah.
A quick pause in this podcast for our sponsor, Guthrie. Guthrie is dedicated to providing high-quality and accessible healthcare that meets the needs of the entire family. To find a provider or schedule an appointment, go to guthrie.org. Guthrie, serving northern Pennsylvania and southern and central New York. Now back to the episode.
How was it like for you guys when everything got shut down to deal with the fact that COVID kind of like halted everybody's seasons or canceled it all? And how did you stay acclimated through it and even last year?
Yeah, this definitely, I'd say probably more me than a lot of other guys I've talked to on our team, especially in my class, because like I was still trying to get recruited at that time. And obviously that didn't help COVID, but I mean, I still had always had Niagara as an option for myself. But I always felt it'd be a good choice. So, but throughout COVID, I mean, I played summer ball. It wasn't like summer ball that I was used to, but we still got to play games and make some good memories. But, we just pushed through it, I guess.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a little bit different because obviously I live in the South. So we were a lot less restricted than everyone else was. So my high school, I went to a private high school, so we didn't have to listen to any of like the direction. We actually started like a Sandlot League. Shout out Coach Mack and Coach Pratt back home, where some of our alumni, like we'd be facing professional guys still trying to get work in, college guys still trying to get work in. We'd be playing 3 times a week. So that I think helped us gain an edge. Definitely us not having to just shut everything down. We were playing 3 times a week against better competition than we would have played. And I really think some of my greatest jumps as a player came through those couple months and weeks, just having to deal with adversity, facing professional guys that are 95 plus with 3 pitches. It's like, wow, jump in, get ready to go. So no, I think I think COVID actually in the grand scheme of things helped me, especially developmentally.
That's actually very surprising. That's the first time I've ever heard anything like that. And it's like that it benefited somebody so much. That's actually pretty awesome. So then getting into the Crush, I want to first know, how did you guys hear about it and what made you decide to join the Crush?
Our assistant coach actually set it up for us. He sent us both a text and said, "You want to play for the Crush this summer?" And I was like, sure. I mean, it was that simple, honestly. He said, spots fill up quick, so let me know. And I was like, okay. I talked to one of our teammates that actually played with him last summer, Matt Ward. He said all good things, so I'm excited.
It's awesome. Eli, what about you?
Same thing. Spatty texted me and was like, hey, I got you a spot with Vince to go play in a really good league this summer. They actually won the league last year, and
Yep.
like, let's do it. I know coach called me and we talked, and I knew it was going to be a great fit. So I'm excited to get to work.
Oh yeah, Bill's a great guy, great coach, great person, great leader. But yes, they did win the championship last year, but this year it'll be a whole new squad. So you guys got a little bit of a challenge there for the entire team to mold together to try to back to back. But I'm sure under the leadership of Bill and so far with a lot of guys that I've met, it might not be that difficult of a task. Maybe I'm showing a little bit of bias at the moment. But then going into it further, what will you be able to bring to the Crush on and or off the field to the team's chemistry, morale, this and or that?
I think myself, I'm a pretty good guy to be around. I know I'll go out every day and hopefully play every day and give it my all. I mean, love playing the game. I mean, hope to have a really good summer, get right back, ready for the fall.
Yeah, I mean, I just hope to be a guy that shows up to the park every day with a smile on his face, makes everybody's day better that I come into contact with, and just be the hardest working guy they got this summer. And the rest of the on the field stuff will take care of itself. So,
yeah, that's what we love to hear. So getting into more lighthearted stuff here, I want to know, well, actually Cam is the one who or my partner. You guys haven't met him yet. You will eventually down the road. Normally we do this. If it's one player, it'll be me and him. But if it's two players, there's one of us. But he started this question of what's a must-have pregame snack or meal, or like a pregame superstition?
I don't even know. I don't really have a pregame meal or pregame. I wouldn't say I don't have a superstition, but I definitely don't have a pregame meal. I typically just something light. I don't like to fill up too heavy before the game. But superstition, just stuff like how I warm up and how I go about myself pregame, and just certain stuff like, I don't know, that I'll wear, stuff like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Definitely pregame for me. Before every game is a coffee. It doesn't matter if it's an 8 a.m. game, a 2 p.m. game, 5 p.m. game, or 8 p.m. game. I've got to have a pregame coffee. Usually frozen. I was always a Dunkin' Donuts guy, but now that I came up here, I'm a Tim Hortons guy. So just, I guess, whatever is more convenient. But no, I'm a huge coffee guy pregame. And as far as superstitions go, usually if something works, like, I'm not going to change it, just the way I dress myself. Like if I have wrist tape on both wrists and I have a good game, then I'm probably going to do that the next game. Or if I don't have a good game, I'll probably put a sleeve on one and tape the other. Just whatever's worked. I like to go with what works.
Right. I was never superstitious when I played sports either. It was always kind of like, if I did something, I'll keep doing it. But if it doesn't work one time, I'll be like, oh, then I'll just forget it. But then something else, jersey numbers. That's something most athletes hold near and dear to their heart. Some guys are like, I don't care. Some guys are like, no, I have to have this number. So Eli, I saw that you're number 5 at Niagara. Vinny, I saw you're number 24. Why did you guys choose those numbers?
You get a cooler story, but I'll go ahead. Number 5, I've always been like an odd numbered guy, like 1 through 10, just small build, usually the smallest jerseys. So usually 3, 5, 7, or 9 guy. And I chose 5 at Niagara, just honestly, because last year I really looked up to Tanner Allen, who played at Mississippi State. He was a small guy, left-handed hitter, who just absolutely dominated the SEC last year, like at like 395 with like 16 jacks or something like that. I just really liked the way he played the game, really hard-nosed, really talented, confident. And I don't know, that was just something I had never even was a second choice when I had that number available at NU.
All right, Kobe, why'd you choose 24?
Well, I'd always been a number 2 guy, big Jeter fan growing up. 2's taken here at Niagara, but I mean, I'd rather honestly wear number 24 because my dad actually wore that when he coached here. So it actually means a little something to me every day. I put it on.
That's awesome. That's actually really cool. So then also everybody has to have like something that's going to get you going. So what is your guys' go-to walk-up song, or the top 3 that you normally have if you get to choose a few different ones?
Right now at Niagara, I've got Gotta Have It by Kanye West. I've got I'm So Groovy by Future. And a third one I've been thinking about is If I Can't by 57.
It's not bad. That's a good list. I like that list.
Yeah.
Eli, what about you?
So I'm a big country guy when I walk up. I like to show off that I'm usually from somewhere a little different, like to pay a little respect to my roots. So, I mean, right now at NU, it's Small Town USA by Justin Moore. And I also, this fall, I walked up to Whistling Dixie by Randy Hauser. And just also, I was thinking about The Way I Talk by Morgan Wallen. Just anything that kind of reminds me of my home and allows me to like just keep that part of my life near and dear to me while I play sports is just a great connect, in my opinion.
I love that. See, Eli, I can already tell you're going to be one of my favorite guys. Sorry, Vinny, no offense. No, I'm kidding. But nah, Eli, I love that list, especially the last one. That's a great list. That's awesome. So then, Eli, is that a Buffalo Bills shirt I see you're sporting?
Yes, I've been converted.
You've been converted. Did you used to follow any football teams?
No. So in the American South, people do not watch the NFL. I've seen maybe 10 NFL games besides the Super Bowl in my entire life. So everyone is college football down there. It's all Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, all those schools. So when I came up here, I was like, I don't really follow the NFL. And then week after week would go by and they're going to be like, you're going to get into the Bills. You're going to get into the Bills. And then I finally went a couple times and I was like, all right, I'm hooked. I'm hooked.
That's not a bad team to follow, honestly. And I mean, hey, it's not like you're a bandwagon fan if you're just getting into the sport and you're going to a school around it. But watching the Bills is pretty exciting, kind of like watching some of those SEC teams. You can't lie about that.
Oh, yeah. In person, especially when it's like -6 degrees and whew.
Yeah, we went to the
we went to the wild card game. Our entire team did. So our entire team's Bills fans. It's huge. But our whole team went to that Bills game, and it was I think it was 3 degrees at kickoff.
Yeah,
and we're up there in the nosebleeds, and it was brutal. This guy wanted to leave. The local guy wanted to leave.
They were up like
he would not stop talking about how cold he was. I'm like, dude, you've lived here your whole life. I could literally like fall asleep out here. And this dude is, oh my God, my foot warmers have run out. It was ridiculous. It was so bad.
That's hilarious. So I take it you guys weren't very happy after the second round of the playoffs, huh?
Oh no.
We were sitting there with 13 seconds left, being like, "Oh, we're gonna go watch the Bills."
Yeah, and then we were all like, "Let's drive to the airport, welcome them home."
Yeah. We're gonna go see them at home in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I was gonna buy tickets that night.
The rest of it.
Then Pat Mahomes came alive, and then a coin decided your fate.
Oh yeah, college overtime, baby, it's the way to go.
I agree. Or you gotta like change the rules somehow. But I mean, if that game was college overtime, the score would have been like 163.
Oh yeah, it never stopped.
Yeah, it wouldn't have stopped. No, you would have had to actually probably seen one of the quarterbacks get injured for that game to be over.
Oh yeah.
Well, it seems like we've run out of time for this show. Unfortunately, I really enjoyed this one. You guys are awesome. Do you guys have any final thoughts for going into the future, into your season, and then later on the Crush season?
No, I'm just gonna say roll perps. That's about it.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Look forward to getting to Cortland this summer after we take care of business up in the Dirty Falls.
Exactly. Take care of your business, guys. With that, thank you, boys, for joining me on this rendition of the Crushcast, brought to you by Tompkins Trust Company. For over 180 years, Tompkins Trust Company is your local, mobile, remarkable community bank. Follow the Cortland Crush on Twitter at Crushball, on Instagram at Crushball, at Cortland Crush Baseball. That's such a tongue twister. I always screw that one up. And subscribe to the Cortland Crush YouTube channel. I'm Clay Thomas. Thank you